For much of the last decade, innovation sat at the center of corporate priorities. New products, new features, and disruptive ideas were treated as the primary drivers of competitive advantage. Companies accepted instability, inefficiency, and even failure as the cost of moving fast. In 2026, that mindset is changing. Across U.S. businesses, operational predictability is increasingly replacing innovation as the top priority, and this shift reflects how risk, scale, and expectations have fundamentally evolved. The first reason predictability has gained importance is that many businesses are no longer experimenting at the edges. They are operating critical systems at scale. Technology platforms, logistics networks, financial services, healthcare systems, and enterprise software now function as infrastructure. When these systems behave unpredictably, the consequences are immediate and costly. Revenue loss, customer disruption, regulatory scrutiny, and reputational damage occur quickly. In this environment, predictability is not boring, it is essential. As companies scale, the cost of surprise rises sharply. Innovation introduces variability. New features create new dependencies. Rapid change increases the chance of failure. When organizations were smaller, these risks were manageable. At scale, they compound. A small mistake can cascade across millions of users or critical workflows. Predictable operations reduce that blast radius and protect the core business. Customer expectations have also changed. Many customers now value consistency more than novelty. They want products and services that work the same way every day without disruption. Frequent changes, even when innovative, can feel like instability. In crowded markets, reliability has become a differentiator. Companies that deliver predictable performance retain customers more effectively than those that constantly reinvent themselves. Financial pressure reinforces this shift. Innovation often requires upfront investment with uncertain payoff. In a tighter capital environment, that uncertainty matters more. Predictable operations generate steady cash flow, protect margins, and reduce downside risk. Boards and executives increasingly favor investments that stabilize performance over initiatives that promise growth but introduce volatility. Operational complexity is another factor. Years of rapid innovation layered new tools, processes, and systems on top of one another. This complexity makes organizations harder to run. Predictability requires simplification. Companies are standardizing processes, reducing variation, and tightening controls. These efforts may not look innovative, but they improve execution and reduce failure risk. Workforce dynamics also play a role. Constant innovation demands constant change, which leads to fatigue. Teams struggle when priorities shift repeatedly. Predictable operations provide clarity. People know what success looks like. Roles stabilize. Execution improves. Over time, predictability supports higher productivity than constant reinvention. Technology strategy reflects this shift clearly. Instead of building for hypothetical future use cases, companies are optimizing existing systems. They invest in monitoring, reliability, security, and cost control. Innovation still happens, but it is layered on top of stable foundations rather than pursued at the expense of them. Regulatory and compliance pressures further elevate predictability. As businesses operate in more regulated environments, unexpected behavior creates risk. Predictable systems are easier to audit, explain, and defend. Innovation that introduces ambiguity can trigger scrutiny. Predictability reduces exposure and simplifies governance. Importantly, this shift does not mean innovation has stopped. It means innovation is being reframed. Instead of chasing constant novelty, companies focus on innovations that improve reliability, efficiency, and resilience. These innovations are less visible but often more valuable. Improving uptime, reducing errors, and stabilizing performance can create more long-term value than launching new features. Investor expectations have changed alongside these dynamics. Markets reward companies that deliver consistent results. Missed projections damage credibility more than slow growth. Predictable operations reduce earnings volatility and improve investor confidence. This shifts incentives away from aggressive innovation toward dependable execution. There is also a learning effect at work. Many organizations experience the downside of prioritizing innovation too heavily. Outages, security incidents, customer churn, and costly reversals taught hard lessons. Predictability represents institutional learning. Companies are correcting course based on experience, not fear. Critics sometimes argue that prioritizing predictability makes companies less competitive. In reality, unpredictability can be a competitive disadvantage. Companies that cannot deliver consistently lose trust. Predictable operations create a platform for selective, disciplined innovation rather than chaotic experimentation. Why operational predictability is replacing innovation as a priority ultimately comes down to maturity. Industries move through phases. Early stages reward speed and disruption. Mature stages reward reliability and trust. Many sectors have entered that mature phase. In 2026, the strongest companies are not those that innovate most loudly. They are the ones that operate most consistently under pressure. They avoid surprises. They execute well. They earn trust quietly. Innovation still matters, but it no longer stands alone. It must coexist with predictability. In a world defined by scale, complexity, and constant risk, the ability to perform reliably has become the foundation on which all sustainable innovation depends. Operational predictability is not the opposite of innovation. It is the condition that allows innovation to last.